Quite often, when women are dating men, to a certain extent, they're looking to see if he's good enough to continue a relationship with. Okay, so she's comparing, and comparing is the thief of happiness. And it's natural to do. It's also the bringer of joy. When I have more money than somebody else, even though I don't want to admit that, but feels good. Oh, but the reality there is at a much deeper human level is somebody needs me and I have more, I can provide for them. And that's what men are looking for, is a woman who could depend on him and greatly value what he has to offer. So I quote from one of my clients. She has $10 million and he has a job of making around $500,000 a year. For her, it's never enough. She says, you have more potential. You should be making more money, and then she also says, and you work too hard. Well, why does he work too hard? Because he has a wife who's saying he's not living up to his potential. He should make more money. And of course, one of the differences between men and women is she wants him to support her and not use her money. And that's okay. You see, women's primary need is security. And it used to be that women would get their security by having a man make money. And she didn't have to. But now women have evolved to where they want to be feminine and masculine. And so when you're on your male side, you like to make money. That's good. But what that does, if a man also has money, it doesn't mean much to you because you don't depend on it, because you depend on yourself for money. So what do you depend on a man for? That's what's going to attract a man into your life. What it is an awareness of your emotional needs. So what would those emotional needs look like? Well, I'm not really that happy in my life at work. It's good. I'm doing this. I'm proud of myself, but I'm stressed. I come home. I'm missing something. What am I missing? I'm missing a man who stands by me, a man who hugs me, a man who does things for me, a man who's in the house when I'm sleeping, a man who is considerate of me, a man who thinks I'm beautiful. And I want to say something about beauty because women often feel as they get older, they lose a lot of their beauty. No, because what a man really values in a woman are these three things: a woman who depends on him for something of value and meaning, a man who, if he's something you can depend on, then you don't demand perfection. You can accept him just as he is. Wanting a man to be more is just a complete turnoff to him. Accepting him just the way he is. And this is hard for women because once you're dating for a while, you want to give him advice because you're so confident, you're capable.
Right.
Giving a man advice is ruining the relationship. Ask him for advice. What do you think about this? And what do you think about that? It doesn't mean you have to do what he says. If you're not going to go, wow, that's great advice, I'm going to do that. If that's not true, don't say to him, well, I'm not going to do that. Instead, have a little finesse. You say things like, that's so interesting. I hadn't thought of that. Or that makes sense to me. That's going to be so helpful as I figure out what I'm going to do. You see, you just let him off the hook. When you ask a man for advice, if you don't take his advice, he feels rejected. He feels he wasn't good enough. He just wants to make you happy. He wants to feel that I have usefulness to you. And because women who are independent, who have money, who can make money, what can I do that's of value to you? It's kind of the old idea of, which is based on a truth, but it's not the right way to look at it. But it was like the girls who were really smart, the boys weren't attracted to. They want to feel like they know more or have more or something. And the key is you can be super smart and super rich as long as you feel the part of you that needs a man. So what do I need him for? Man, I don't need his advice, maybe. Maybe I don't need his money, maybe. Maybe I don't need his protection. But on an emotional level, what you need is someone who gives you reassurance every day that you are loved, every day that you're not alone, actual physical affection, sharing together in activities together. And that's what you need a man for. Otherwise, you're not going to be as happy as you could be. It's to admit, I would be so much happier if I had a man in my life. And a lot of women didn't have a father who made your mother happy. So you don't know what that looks like or even what that could feel like. So it's kind of like if you're on your male side, your ego won't say, well, I really need a man because I'm unhappy without a man. But this is what you have to look at your life, and there's many things that can make us happy, and you need to have those other things. So you look to a man, particularly when you're financially independent to a certain extent, you look to a man as dessert. He's just dessert. And what a delicious dessert it is. I mean, I have to not eat ice cream, otherwise I get too fat. But I still do it on a vacation. I was just on a vacation. Oh, it makes me so happy. You get that nice big dopamine rush from the sugar. But I can't do it all the time. So think of men as just dessert. Not that you have to, get everything from him, but you have a life where your emotional needs are met with your children, if you have children, where you have helping the world in some way, making money in certain ways, having friends in certain ways, girl time together, and doing things that you like to do. These are all part of a whole life, and that's the whole meal. Then go to your man for dessert. And if you lessen the burden on him, he will be more attracted to you. But if you have no need for him, he will not be attracted to you. But there's a reality. Are you in touch with a part of you that really, really would be much happier in your life? Much happier. You're already happy, much happier if you had a man in your life. And you can't just decide, I'm going to be happier with a man. This is just the direction you want to go in. And then you practice skills, which allows you to ask for what you would like, ask for what you would want, and then the man will deliver that to you. And then you'll start to experience that you actually can become happier with a man. You have to put the hormones out there. See, the hormones is reality. If you're not feeling, I really need a man, it would be so much happier, then your estrogen levels won't go so high. So this is a powerful thing. So coming back to female hormones, already as you go through menopause and after menopause, you don't have automatic estrogen. You have to make it. When you're younger, you take a 25-year-old, her body's making so much estrogen. So no matter what she does in her life, she's making estrogen, which makes her more attractive to a man. So you see these men going with younger women. Biologically, it's not that they just look beautiful. They don't have wrinkles or whatever thing. It's that they're putting out estrogen. Estrogen puts out a smell, and that smell says, I will really be happy to have a man in my life. And that will raise his testosterone up. These are called pheromones. And pheromones of a woman who's in touch with her female hormones will attract a man because he's looking for a job. All men are looking for a job. So you gave an example of a man, you had conversations. The first problem was you had long conversations. Okay. Mm-hmm. Don't give him so much. And when you have conversations, and this is a little counterproductive, I counter what our mothers would have told us if it were women. As a woman, my mother would have told me, if you want someone to be interested in you, be interested in them.
Right.
Don't be interested in him. He has to earn his way in. If you're like, see some guy, oh, that's good potential, and you run after him, wrong guy. You should feel open to having the right guy come to you and earn his way in, which means give less, give less. This is not a game. This is being authentic. Before I open my heart to somebody, they have to be worthy of it. He has to earn his way in. If he doesn't earn his way in, he doesn't bond with you. He's not motivated to continue because it was too easy.